So, racing section 3, the long trek home. Reineke and Dreyer set off into the dawn, followed by Degener. "20 kilos out, the Toyotas lie third and fourth. No sign of Grobler. On searching, the Nissan is found by the side of the road, with Piet Swanepoel by a fire. Their race is run, a broken gearbox the reason. Driving into the rising sun, Arpi pulls a lead on the Sandmaster. Toyotas, now led by Malone, keep a steady pace in third and fourth spots respectively. As the sand softens, the heat rises, Klaus closes the gap to within striking distance. Tired and sore, Jeremy and Hilton painfully start the race home. Followed by Russell White. So, with Grobler and Swanepoel out, Malone and Holt take third, and the rest move up a place. Linton Draper and Pete Smith slowly catching the Trethewes. In the race to Dinopeng, Degener has a shot at the lead, but loses himself once again. Back on the route, he finds himself 10 minutes behind the Nissan. The Toyotas spread themselves out. Pond and Leek now 7 minutes behind teammates Malone and Holt, who themselves lie 20 minutes behind the leader. Pond and Leek have lost time due to punctures, and fresh spares replace those already used. Tony looks exhausted, but if they can keep going, their fourth place seems safe by at least 20 minutes. The leading trio have opened almost 2 hours on the rest of the field. While Malone holds the pace, the big Land Cruiser looks and sounds distinctly tired. But sounding and looking good, Jeremy Davies powers his way forward, unaware that 20 minutes behind him, a fight for second and third spot is slowly developing. The previous day's crash has affected Beattie's vision, and Russell White is closing in fast. Neil Woodridge is dangerously within striking distance too. Roland Geiger lies fifth, while Gavin Nimmo on his Brute Yamaha lies sixth. This Toyota Desert Race will produce many heroes in one way or another, but without doubt, the quietly spoken Arpi Reineke and his navigator Lucas Dreyer have, in a very relaxed manner, stolen the show. Their service crews remain inconspicuous. There's been no crazy fight for the lead. They drove wisely, took the lead and, except for a few kilos, have kept it. The lead they hold has now opened to 17 minutes. As we look behind at their only possible competition, we see why. Klaus Degener, without the aid of a co-driver or navigator, has once again overshot the route. In trying to turn around, he's buried his wheels in the deep sand shouldering the road. Helping hands get the King Scorpion going, but this is just one of many wrong slots that will open the gap between first and second places.
The big disadvantage, of course, in the single seat in the desert race is that we get a bit lost. And every time I get lost, even if it's only 4K or half a K, that's time lost. That's very hard to make up on the 4x4s, which have good navigators with them, and very seldom wrong slot.
Lucas Dreyer is not a known rally navigator like Piet Swanepoel or Richard Leek, but like them, he calculates to the nearest meter, counting RP down to the bends and intersections. As a commercial pilot, flying helicopters, he's well equipped and totally at home in doing the job he is in the seat for. Here, we see the value of a navigator as Lucas and RP make a correction without losing a second. The big KTM under Davies handles the bumps and tracks with relative ease as he guides the machine meter by meter towards Freiburg and the finish. The last refuel point and 95 kilos to go.
Water there if you want water.
Yeah, please, man. I only find that Richard Leek is stuck under that tunnel of trees there.
Is it?
Do you know where that tunnel of trees is?
Yeah.
They're stuck under there, they're working on.
Really? Thanks. How's it going, Jay?
And stuck the Land Cruiser is. In hitting a ditch, Pond has pushed the front axle back, which via the front prop shaft has split the gearbox and smashed the sump. News is that Philip Malone and Brian Holt have broken down too, putting Toyota out of the race and promoting Draper and the Trethewes behind them. At the Freiburg Motor Club, however, the crowd has eyes and ears only for the winners. As RP and Lucas take the honours, the pair look as if they could do it all over again.
Thanks, Rio. Ons baie tevrede. Ons voet is baie lekker geloop.
Maar dit gebeur dat Klaus by julle verbygekom het.
Hy hand het 'n bietjie vinniger pas as ons en ons het hom verskeie kere laat verbygaan in die wedren. En op 'n plek het hy verkeerd gery. En daarvan het ons hom nie weer gesien nie.
And it takes some 20 minutes before the King Scorpion comes into view.
It seems to have been a race of seconds. Speed trials, I was second fastest to Hannes by 4 seconds. At the overnight stop last night, I was second again, 5 seconds behind RP Reinicke, and finished second.
The cars in the top 10 placings have spread themselves out over nearly 200 kilometres. But the fight for third, fourth and fifth hots up as the Trethewes chase Draper. And the Beetle of Westlow and Blankner is pursued by Harry Roscoe. Among this bunch, Russell White and Neil Woodridge hold second and third places on their bikes. If any one hero is to emerge from this race, though, it must be the rider on bike number 62, Jeremy Davies. Out there on his own, guided only by the sparse confidence markers and tracks made by the cars, Jeremy has kept himself ahead of a very competent field of riders. His eyes have scanned every metre of road, and the only sound his ears have heard is the drone of the KTM's big 500cc motor. In the 13.5 hours racing, Jeremy and the KTM have covered over 1,000 kilometres at an average speed of 80 kilos an hour on tracks often difficult to walk on. Still, with the finish line in sight, as if to prove that the road rules over the rider, Jeremy must face the pain of being thrown from his mount again. Slowly, painfully, the young rider makes his way down the home straight. Jeremy has ridden an almost perfect race, and when he crosses the threshold of the finishing line, he will fulfill a dream to win the big one, the dreaded 1,000 kilometres of Kalahari tracks, the Toyota Desert Race.
Well done, Jeremy, on your win for the bikes.
Thanks.
How do you feel?
Oh, very tired. It was so far coming home. It was so rough as well. It was worse than yesterday. Cars broke the route up so much. It just didn't end. I'm glad to be back now.
As Jeremy joins Arpi and Lucas on the podium, we salute the class winners and indeed the 47 competitors who finished the event.